Hey guys, it's Diane Flores here at Venus Fitness Studio, coming back at you with episode number 2 of GTV, Goddess TV, and we have a special guest today. But first, before I bring her on, I wanted to ask you, did you know that today is the first day that they have offered the pumpkin spice latte? Is everyone going crazy right now at Starbucks? Who loves some PSL? If you love a pumpkin spice latte, please give me a thumbs up, raise your hand. Or maybe you hate pumpkin. Maybe you're just one of those crazy folks that hates pumpkin and we maybe can't be friends. I don't know. But yes, so pumpkin spice latte has been released everywhere, and everyone's going nuts everywhere. Grab your Uggs. Scarf time is coming as well too, so stay tuned. The lines at Starbucks are probably nuts, so just know. I know, pumpkin spice latte. There's my guest. So Michelle, if you can see me, there should be somewhere that says like join. I invited you, so hopefully you can pull into the screen here. Let's see. La 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 la. And you can request, and then I can add you. Here we go. Let's see. Michelle is going to be on soon. We're trying to figure this out. It worked out so easily yesterday, you know. First beginner's luck on our first episode. So hopefully we can get her in to join in the screen. But let me tell you a little bit about her while we're getting this all set up. Michelle has been a client for several months now and started with Fierce AF back in May, I want to say, and she's lost 15 pounds. She typically comes to our 8:30 a.m. boot camp. So if you ever come to the 8:30 a.m. class, you'll see her bebopping around. She's got tons of energy. She's incredibly motivating, inspiring. We love her in class because she gets the crowd going. So much, in fact, that we are bringing her on as a coach for the fall. So I can't wait for that. She's already starting training, and we're getting her up and rolling for that. And you'll see when we hopefully get her on the screen here in just a few seconds, her infectious energy and why we love her so much. So let's see if we can get her on. I sent her the invite. Let's try this again. Oh, yes. Okay, there she is. Approve. Do we have some Bam Bam in our life? Her nickname is Bam Bam because her maiden name is Bambino. I'm probably saying it right. She's going to tell me when she comes on right now. But so her nickname is Bam Bam. So it's Coach Bam Bam.
Hey.
There's Bam Bam. Hi, pretty girl.
Good morning.
So happy it worked. Good morning.
For some reason, I'm laptop challenged.
It's okay. It's
so you get to
technology,
see my
we
face.
have so many different devices. We've got Androids and iPhones and laptops and tablets, and so we're good. Okay, I was just telling them your maiden name is Bambino. Am I saying that right?
Bambino.
Okay. Ooh,
You're so close
with these things. Okay, Bambino. So that's where the nickname Bam Bam comes from, I'm assuming.
Whoop, whoop. Yeah.
Yes, totally. Okay. So, you guys, this is Michelle. Michelle, this is the world of social media and Facebook.
Hello,
and
everybody.
all the things. Just giving them a little bit of background on how we met, how we fell in love with each other, our whirlwind fitness romance, and just kind of introducing them to your journey. So, tell us a little bit about you, what you do. I know you don't have the human babies. You also have fur babies.
Mm-hmm.
Give us a little insight as to who Miss Bam Bam is.
Oh boy, here we go. I'm gonna try to do this without getting mushy.
No, be mush. Just like I'm a total mush ball.
I am a 26-year-old lifelong resident of Modesto. Gasp, I know. I used to work with my dad in his catering business. I did that from when I was about 14 to about 21-ish.
I did not know this.
Yeah.
Okay.
And
this explains your culinary magic.
Well, to be completely honest with you, I sucked at cooking when I was younger. And then when I met Mike, my dad was like, you can't meet this boy and potentially marry him and only know how to make mac and cheese.
Yes, this is true. Okay.
So I
Yes.
got sent to my grandma's house, who lives next door to my parents, for cooking lessons every Tuesday, and she made me blossom from there.
Awesome.
So, excuse me. I am an EMT. I've been an EMT at Memorial for it'll be 4 years in October. I work the night shift, so I party all night, sleep all day.
Mm-hmm.
I have two wonderful fur babies, which my baby's getting his nuts clipped right now, and I'm really worried about him.
Oh.
And the other guy, his name's Hank. He's what we think a 4-year-old. We don't really know. We adopted him from the pound, and he's home
He's a
now.
pound puppy. I love
He is
it.
a pound puppy.
I have
He's a
two of
good boy.
those.
Some people think he's mean because he looks like a Rottweiler, but he is by far the
He's
biggest
gentle.
snuggle bug that has ever walked this earth.
Love it.
So yeah, that's.
Okay, and
Oh,
then
and if you
so
notice, I have my
I see a wild
wild
turkey.
turkey friend,
Uh-huh. Did
and
you
I
kill
also
that?
have, yes, and
Oh my God, you're a hunter.
there's my other friend who
Ah!
says
This is
hi.
a lovely room of death. I
The
love it.
buffalo's over my bed.
You are such a tomboy. This is awesome. This is
Yeah.
great. Well, perfect. So diving into sort of how our worlds collided, how long have you been coming to Venus?
I just
And
figured this out yesterday too.
how did you kind of like stumble upon
May, June,
the
July,
world?
August. So I've been at Venus for 4 months now.
Yeah, it's a short
I,
stint.
what was it? Long story. After the wedding, which was September of last year, I was thinking like, yay me, I lost a couple pounds so I could fit my wedding dress, feeling
Mhm.
kind of sort of good with myself. And then leave it to Facebook to remind you of everything on this earth. A picture from, I want to say like 2011 popped up. And that's when I felt like I was in my fitness prime,
Mhm.
which I never even thought of joining a gym till I found out Mike went to a gym. I said, I'm going to go join the same gym that this cute boy works out at. And he's the one that got me into the weightlifting and the strength training and all that. But then somehow I just fell off the wagon, right?
Mhm.
And I kept seeing Venus popping up on my Facebook feed, like, you may be interested in, Venus pole fitness. I'm like, oh, that's cool, man. The girls on the pictures are like super hot. And then I was like, oh, I don't know if that's for me. I don't know if I can commit to that, because commitment and consistency is one of my biggest problems.
You're not alone.
And then one day I got home from work. It was a really rough day. Like, the scrubs that I was going to wear weren't fitting. And this was I can't remember when we had to inquire about the Fierce AF
It was
back
probably
in,
April.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do it. And I sat there with the thing on my Facebook page looking at it like, do I do it? Do I do it? Do I do it? And then Mike came in. He's like, would you just click the button already? It's
Oh.
like, okay, fine. So I did. And I walked in for the orientation and just fell in love with the place. Because I have heard horror stories of people joining, certain gyms, I won't say, that,
We'll keep it PC.
yeah, that they walk in and the instructors are like, you're going to puke your first day. You're going to hate it. And it's like, but
Yeah.
I didn't want that. And that's something that would have definitely chased me away. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, don't get me wrong. I love a challenge, but I don't think you should want to be losing your breakfast every morning.
No, absolutely not.
So now I'm here.
Now you're here. So, what would you say your biggest struggle was before you started in terms of diet? Let's start there. Like in terms of your diet, because I like to just point out, as much as this is, you come to the studio and exercise is a huge
Mm-hmm.
component. Everyone thinks that's going to fix all their problems. Like my biggest passion is like nutrition. Obviously fitness. I mean, they go hand in hand, but
Mm-hmm.
the changes that need to be made are going to come from nutrition. So,
Right.
what were your biggest struggles with nutrition prior to?
I think part of it was I looked at it as I just worked really hard. I can eat whatever I want.
Mm-hmm.
And But at the same time, what I thought I was eating was enough. It was over enough of what I was eating, but I
Mm-hmm.
also wasn't eating the right things.
Mm-hmm.
So, especially talking with you and kind of lining out like these are the calories, all the macros basically, it kind of really opened my eyes as wow, I could eat quite a quite a bit of things, but they had to be the right things.
Mm-hmm.
And I think especially for me, I love to cook.
Mm-hmm.
So it was also a little bit of a challenge to try to make the things that I liked to eat, but
Yeah.
make them fit into this healthier, happier lifestyle that I was going down.
Right. Right. I just remember early on, I mean, because you lost, I think it was 15 pounds that
Mm-hmm.
round.
15
And
pounds. And when I started, I was a size 16 when I started.
mhm,
And after the first sexy summer camp, I was back into my size 12s,
that's so
which
awesome.
I
And
about cried over, but
I love it. I just remember you posting like, my drawers are falling, you guys.
yeah.
Gotta go buy some new panties.
I had to get some new panties because the ones I had didn't fit.
Yes, exactly. And then, you are always probably one of the most consistent in the private group with posting your photos, right? Like,
Mm-hmm.
we get a mass amount of girls that sign up for Fierce AF, and some girls are just wallflowers. They like to sit off of
Mm-hmm.
the sidelines and they just like to see everyone's food and what's everyone posting. And then those that like thoroughly participate, I
Mm-hmm.
feel, have the most success, and a longevity sake as well, like over the long haul.
Mm-hmm.
And then also because my eyeballs are in there and I'm like looking at what you're eating, and like I will give you
Mm-hmm.
that loving, tough love, like, hey, swap this out, or like, just to give you that feedback is important. But you were always on your food posting game.
I liked it because, for me, it was, hey, I just made this super awesome, healthy. Like when I was making your brownies, I was like, you
Yeah.
guys, check these out. They're gluten free. Like there's no dairy in them.
Yeah.
It was
And
kind
they
of,
were amazing, by the way.
yay.
My boyfriend ate like half the tray.
Yes. Well, I have stuff to make more if you need more.
Oh, they were so good. Yes. They were amazing. So yeah, I mean, your photos were always consistent, and you were incredibly encouraging in there, and you posted, your accountability to the
Mhm.
group was huge, even like through the weekends and working, pulling all-nighters and all that. So kudos to you for that. That was awesome. It was
It
great.
brings, it was the accountability part I was actually kind of worried about
Mm,
because I thought if I, well, not worried, I should say, it made me super conscious of what I was about to put in my mouth because it was like, I
absolutely.
have to take a picture of this and people are going to see this. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's not so much I was worried about being judged by any means
No.
because I've never ever felt that at all. But I thought I just signed up to be a healthier me. If I'm taking pictures of the crap that I'm eating, am I really dedicating myself?
Right. And I've found, and I don't know if you find this to be true too, is because I post my food in there too, and
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sitting on my soapbox being like, y'all need to eat healthy, but you can't see
Mm-hmm.
what I'm eating. So
Yeah.
you've seen my bags and bags of M&Ms and all that stuff. But also knowing when it's almost like a mental trigger, and I think because I've been doing it
Mm-hmm.
for a while with my clients as well, like I partake in the sessions, that when I'm eating, I just know like my phone's gonna come out to take a picture of my
Mm-hmm.
food. And so that makes you question sometimes, like, damn it, I have to take a picture of this.
Right?
What? Okay, when I'm ordering off of a menu, I'm like, I gotta take a picture of this. And I'm,
Mm-hmm.
like, this is gonna be all up in the
The
private
world is
group,
gonna see what mama is eating.
Yeah, exactly. But
Which
again, all
bone
things in
broth
moderation.
banana peanut butter smoothie over here.
Ooh, that sounds delicious.
Mm-hmm. The
Very
turmeric's
nice.
kind of weird. You get over it, but it's
Yeah, I
really
haven't
not
tried
that
that
bad.
yet. I definitely need to give that a shot.
I'll bring you a
Definitely.
scoop.
I would love that. Okay, so next, one thing that I hear most women complain about, or not complain, but struggle with,
Mm-hmm.
is, and because I complain slash struggle with this from time to time too, is how do you find that you stay motivated? Because especially with your job, working all night, You come straight from work, right? Like on most days.
On most days, yes. On the days I'm really tired, I come home, throw all my gym stuff on except for my shoes, take a
Uh-huh.
20-minute power nap, get in the car and go.
Yes. So you're coming from working how many hours? 13,
12
14 hours?
hours.
12 hours. Okay. So
Mm-hmm.
you're working a 12-hour shift. There's plenty of reasons why you could say, nah, I'm tired.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go home. I'm exhausted. Such and such happened, right? Like all the excuse
Right.
train can come up. So how are you, like, I'm super impressed with this and I'm dying to hear your answer. Like, because I think I hear often, I don't have time.
Mm-hmm.
I work the night shift and I have actually several clients, nurses that come in after a shift and they just were like, I got to get it done or else I'm just not going to do it. So what motivates you or how do you stay motivated to keep that a priority?
I think it's the progress that I've made. And I
Mm-hmm.
noticed that because there's been, I think when I did the 6 week, there might have been 3 days that I came from work. I was like, you know what, I'm just so tired. Like, there's no way I can dedicate myself to it. And I
Yeah.
actually didn't go.
Yeah. And that's awesome that you were able
But
to have that self-awareness too.
that those 3 days I didn't go, when I got home to sleep, was a pain. I was constantly waking up. I was waking up like every hour.
Mm-hmm.
I usually sleep from about 7:30 in the morning till 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yeah.
And that whole time I was just tossing and turning. So for me, when I do, pull that all nighter and come work out in the morning, I go home and I'm so at peace with myself and
Mm-hmm.
kind of pat myself on the back like, you did it, girl. Now you can really sleep knowing that you gave your best efforts this morning. And I'm not going to lie, it helps seeing your face every morning because I know when I walk in there, if I remotely am quiet, you're like, bam, you're not yourself today. Is everything okay? Or you could totally kick it up like 10 notches right now. Like I've
I
seen that
know.
look in your eyes
I
like, what
feel
are you
bad.
doing?
I'm like, should I go easy on her because she
No.
just did pull a 12-hour shift? So good. I'm glad I have permission and the world has all witnessed that I can
Yeah.
bark more orders at
That
you.
was
So
that was
that's
kind of
great.
dumb of me to do that on live, wasn't it?
Exactly. You can't be mad at me now. I love it. You and
No.
Anna both.
Oh God.
I love it. I know, right? We're just gonna throw her in the mix too. Yes. So great. I love it. The fact that you're seeing results,
Mhm.
being accountable, knowing that there's somebody there to look out for you. That's a huge piece of the puzzle, I think, too, for sure. And no doubt you're kicking ass. So I'm super proud of you for
Taking
that.
names.
Yeah,
Just kidding.
totally. So what in terms of like your food have you feel like maybe even like small changes that maybe you weren't really mindful of prior to that you do sort of now it's just part of your routine that are consistent that you feel have made the most change in terms of your success or your results so far?
I think it's been measuring everything, really.
Being, yeah, portion
Like
size. Hmm.
actually measuring out, because I think that was my biggest problem before, was I wasn't super aware of what 4 ounces of chicken looked like or what
Hmm.
half a cup of rice looked like. I just kind of eyeballed like, yeah, that looks like enough.
Yeah.
Or not being aware of all the olive oil that I was using in, cooking food.
Hmm.
So I've kind of made the change as far as I'm not just going to just drizzle olive oil in there. I'm going to actually measure it out and use the correct amounts and just actually looking at the nutrition facts on things before I pick them up. And
Hmm.
especially because I'm a huge fan of olive oil and vinegar dressing, but I'm also a huge fan of Thousand Island dressing and ranch dressing. And I never really paid attention to how terrible those actually were for you.
Yeah, right. And
So,
just even like if you want to have them, just now knowing like, okay, I'm gonna have that, but I'm not
but I
gonna
can't have
like
peanut butter M&Ms
drench.
later.
Yeah, like you have to find your thing, right? So
Mm-hmm.
like one of my top diet foods, like one of the five top things that makes like my diet has to be M&Ms. Like if I'm not gonna have peanut M&Ms, someone's gonna get hurt.
Mm-hmm.
So even like my last week of prep, you guys saw me posting like I'm eating M&Ms and I'm eating popcorn. Like those are just my things, but I'm willing to sacrifice the fact that I don't eat bread or,
Mm-hmm.
I don't cook with a lot of oil, and don't eat a lot of fried foods because I would rather have this. It's like this versus that. And
Mm-hmm.
it's really picking your nutritional battles. So you're
Yeah.
doing great. I think it's awesome that you've already made that connection.
It's
Yeah. So,
it's been a
um,
journey, that's for sure. It's been a great,
yeah,
you
and
know,
it's going to continue,
it,
right? Like it's going to just be
yeah.
a continual learning process for sure.
Yeah, the hard part for me was, I think,
Yeah.
I went through a stage where I thought I was healthy and I thought I was eating what I should, and I was actually doing it all wrong. There was a point where I got down to about 130 pounds and I was skin and bones, and it was, I
Hmm.
was working out like a maniac and not feeding my body right. And
Yeah.
I think when I fell off the wagon, it totally swung my pendulum the other way, and I took the
Hmm.
bulking
Yeah.
stage a little too seriously. And now that,
Ah!
right? I'd wake up like Pac-Man in the freaking kitchen every morning, just, yeah. But
Hmm. Hmm.
sitting down with you and having, like, even all the recipes in that, in the Fierce AF workbook, totally opened my eyes to eating healthy can be tasty and fun and not just kale and quinoa and chicken every day.
Mm-mm. Which are great things, by the way. But
Yeah, sorry people if you
they
like
don't.
them. I didn't mean
I
to offend
know. I
anyone.
I like. I know, right? The food babe is like screaming right now. I can totally hear it. But
Yeah.
like my approach is not going to be for everyone, and
Mhm.
that's totally okay. But my approach is for the woman that's busy, doesn't want to
Mhm.
live on just salad all the time. Yes, greens are incredibly important. Um, is realistic, likes to have snacks, and also wants to learn how to fuel their body properly and fix their
Mhm.
digestion, all these things that come along with it, and not like super strict dieting. So like if you want a hardcore strict diet meal plan, just not that's not like for you. Like we're not for you. you know?
Yeah.
Like I
Well,
will
not.
give you meal plans and show you ideally what it looks like to eat
Mhm.
clean. So you understand that. But once you understand the concepts, like you also want to have a glass of wine, or you want
Yes.
to do this or do that, and know that you can work that in, fit that into
Mhm.
your macros, and all is well at the end of the day. Calories,
Sorry,
yes,
I'm
are
trying to find the
king.
good lighting here.
Oh, you're
There we go.
fine. But like
Okay.
making sure that those calories are coming from nutrient dense foods for at least 90% of
Mhm.
what you're eating. And then you have that wiggle room, too. And I think you found that balance, which is great.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And that was
So
a lot of
what have
questions.
you found? Go ahead.
Yes. No, darling.
What people were asking you?
Oh, they were,
Is that
when
what
I
you're going to
first
say?
started this, they were like, "Well, are you on this crazy diet plan?" No. "Well, are you on a meal plan every
Yeah.
week?" No. "You're not?" And people were shocked by that. I was like, I mean, you have the
Yeah.
option, but you also kind of have the option to take this thing by the reins and drive yourself on
Yeah.
your own. And I
Right.
mean,
And it's a little
meal
more
plans are
work.
great and
There's a
all,
little bit of a
but
learning curve,
mhm,
but totally worth it
but
because it's real life.
oh yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah. So what have like family and friends noticed? Because I know we've had this discussion before too.
Mhm. Um a lot of, and there's a thing that I found on Instagram a couple weeks ago, and it kind of hit home. It takes 4 weeks for your friends to notice, and then it takes 6 weeks for acquaintances or something like that to notice, and then it takes
Mm-hmm.
12 weeks for you to notice, like for
Oh, for
yourself to
sure.
be mindful.
Mm-hmm.
And being where I am now, I totally see that. When I first started, about 4 weeks into Fierce AF, my friends at work were, "Holy cow, girl, what are you doing? Like, you look great. How much have you lost?" And I was like, "Well, I don't really know, because I swore when I started, I took your advice, I was not going to get on the scale till it was done."
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, my mom, even, she was like, "Oh my God, sissy, you look so good. Like, I'm so happy for you. You can tell. And I think even like my internal happiness changed because I
Mm-hmm.
was in this, this funk where it was like, oh, I'll start tomorrow. I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow never came. And then borderline didn't like myself for
Mm-hmm.
letting that happen. And then after our measurement day at the end of Fierce AF, I was so worried nothing was going to have changed because, I didn't see the number on the scale.
Yeah.
And then seeing all the inches that I had lost, which I think I lost like 6 total inches
Yeah. That's
all around.
awesome.
It was like, I came home and I was talking to Mike and I was like, he goes, how did it go? Because he has been my biggest supporter through this whole thing. And
Yes,
he
you
knew I
tell
was
me.
nervous
He's
and
awesome.
he was like, regardless of what today comes, just know how hard you worked. And when I came home and told him, I started crying. I was
Oh,
like,
I love it.
I lost this much. And he was just like, see, I told you you could do it. Like, and he was like, I would never tell you that, hey, you're packing on the pounds or anything like that. But he was like, you
Mm-hmm.
noticed for yourself and you decided to take that leap. But it's
Mm-hmm.
so warming to have other people notice you're working hard. And it meant
Yeah.
a lot that
Feels
people
great.
weren't worried about what the number on the scale was. So and then when people would ask, what are you doing? It was like, oh, here's my chance to talk about Fierce AF and here's my chance to talk about Venus. And I feel like some people were like, for the love of God, would you stop talking about it? Because there was times that it
Oh,
was like, well,
don't
here's the
stop.
workouts. And I'd give them my whole, not my spiel, right? And then I'd be like, by the way, I take boot camp every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. You can come try it for free at 8:30. And then it was like,
Yeah.
oh, well, maybe. And I would be like, you guys, what are you waiting for? And I feel like I I found my fire again. And I think that's a lot of what people see too is I'm my happy go lucky, overly outgoing self again.
Mm-hmm.
After I was a little dull flame
Totally.
there for a while. So but
And you are
it's
such a great motivator. Like, we appreciate it. We love it.
would you be mad if I told you it was a front? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes, because no, I wouldn't. I'd be like, well, just keep doing it because you fooled me. You did. You totally fooled me. You're doing great.
It's not a front. I
Absolutely.
feel it's for me it's like I've been to those boot camp classes where there's people who are just there to do the motions and they have this like robotic look on their face. And
Right.
it makes you not want to be there.
Right.
So, when that's another thing I love about Venus when you walk in the door, your class sizes are so small that in a good way you're forced to know each other.
Oh yeah.
You're forced to
Exactly.
you're forced to have different partners all the time and you're forced to learn your cohort, like your group.
Mm-hmm.
And I think for me that's kind of why I like 8:30 so much is because I know all those girls pretty well
Yeah.
and
They love
I
you.
feel like we all feed off of each other really well.
And that's important. I know
Yeah.
it can be scary. Like, I was talking to Krista yesterday, like, being an
Mm-hmm.
introvert, I'm just like, I just want to do my own thing. I want nobody looking at me, nobody talking to me. But um but it's actually just, the opposite at the studio. It's
Mm-hmm.
like, even the introverts, I have a handful of introverts slash shy wallflowers
Mm-hmm.
who, um you know I think they're secretly extroverted under their false exterior, and they just need a place where it's okay for them to like let their freak flag fly and just like
Mm-hmm.
have fun and be with the other weirdos that we are at Venus. So it works, and we have a great eclectic group, and I love it. So wouldn't ask for it any other way. And you make up a huge part of that group of weirdos. Well, I think I have got so much juicy stuff here that will hopefully help somebody. It sounds like one of your, my last question is like, if somebody was on the fence about, you know, joining Fierce AF or even just exercising
Mm-hmm.
in general, like just getting started with their journey, like, what would you
Mm-hmm.
say to them? So if like you're sitting across the table with, your best friend or whoever, and they're just like in a
Mm.
funk, and they've got all these excuses, what would your parting words be to them?
I would tell them to take a chance on something different that you may know nothing about. Whether it be, especially for me, I knew nothing about Venus. I just kept seeing it on my page and took a chance. And, you can always say, I'm going to do it tomorrow, I'm going to do it tomorrow, because that was me, and tomorrow never came. So,
No.
even if you have to set a date, like, by this time next week, I'm going to figure out my plan and I'm going to take action. I think as long as you have an idea of when you want to start, you have to put that plan into action. And yes, it's going to suck at first. It's not going to be easy, but you have to start somewhere. And I think that was, like, I think, was it Krista that had posted something about trying to help motivate people? I think it was. And, all of us
Probably.
all had the
She's
same,
an awesome
had,
cheerleader.
yeah, we all had the same thing, was you can only help people so much until they want to help themselves. And I
For
think,
sure.
people like me who were in a funk, I felt like it wasn't my fault that I was in the position that I was in, or that it, excuse me, I'm choking on my own spit. Anyway, felt like there were other reasons as to why I wasn't taking action. And I think being scared is okay. It's okay to be scared to do something new, to do something that you're not going to be good at first. But in time, I mean, you're never going to get good at anything if you don't try.
Right.
And
You
I
just
think
got
that
to do the
was,
damn thing.
yeah, that was my thing for Venus. When we went in that first day and you're like, okay, everybody, we're going to run, we're going to do burpees, we're going to do squats. I'm like, oh shit. What did I just get myself into?
And I want to run.
Yeah.
Out the
And then,
door and in my car.
I think part of it is that I think people are afraid of what other people are going to think, and what their results are. And the hard part for me, and what I can tell people who, if they do decide to take this journey, is don't let the numbers you see discourage you. Take it as, something to beat and something to improve. Because even in the 6 weeks that I was there, I went from only being able to do like 17 push-ups in what was it? Do we do it 30 seconds or a minute?
A minute.
To almost tripling that number. So you don't think that these 45-minute workouts you're doing are, progressing you that much, because you don't actually like sit down and think about, what was I able to do this week that I couldn't do last week. But when it all comes together, you're like, holy cow, I made, a lot of progress. So if people would just look at when they start something, stick with it, and track your own progress, by the end of however long you decide to do this, you're going to be surprised.
I love it. And you said something that I haven't touched on yet either, which is, just getting started. Just, you have to kind of beat that inner resistance and just take that first plunge. Because honestly, I know for myself too, personally, and how my experience is that it's just like right between the ears, right? Like the battle is just there. It's just doing it and not talking yourself out of doing it. Whether that's like lacing your shoes up and getting out the door and going for a walk or a run, or just texting a friend and say like, hey, meet me at the gym. Just having some accountability partner to get your ass moving and doing that, making yourself a priority. So totally feel you on that one.
And I feel like I have a huge tribe now. I mean, before, especially Mike has always been a big fitness guy. I mean, he will work a 15-hour shift and still go to the gym and push the weights. So for me, it was like, I want to be better for me, but be better for him, so that we can be that gym duo that I know he wants. And it's not that I'm doing it by any means just for him, but to be able to say
it's a partnership. You guys are interested in the same thing. You stay healthy together. You're married. You support each other. It's incredibly important. And for sure. And I know a lot of women don't have that.
Yeah. And, but then even, you guys, especially you and the coaches and all the other girls, for people who don't have that significant other, once you join, like once I joined Venus and it was like even the first week and everybody was like, everyone's doing so good. It's like, you don't realize how many people are actually in your corner. And when you do have, listen to me, I'm getting mushy. When you
I'm
do
so
have
getting the chance, I love you.
that
Like, that's what it's all about.
when you have that constant push, I think that's what really, really drives people. And even my sister-in-law, when I took her to a leg, why I brought her to a leg day, I don't know. And just like my friend Jen that I brought to, I know. Or my friend Jen, who I brought to the cardio day, and I told Anna that morning, which Anna wasn't really planning on going, but I grabbed her phone and signed her up for it anyway. When we
Hey,
walked in
she
and we
signed
saw
up
it
for
was,
Fierce AF.
did she?
Did you know that?
No.
She did. I was,
Yay!
yeah.
That makes me happy.
We maybe just ratted her out, but I'm really excited.
Oops.
Yeah, she signed up.
Sorry, Anna, if you're watching. But we looked at each other and we told
totally.
Melina that morning we were bringing a friend. She was like, "You guys brought a friend on cardio day?" Yeah, we did.
Yeah, it could be rough sometimes.
We're those people. Whoops.
But she survived.
I'm forever grateful.
Yeah.
She did survive, and then the next.
Well, I'm forever.
She's got some things she needs to work out, but I think she'll be back.
You came to our life. It's all good. Everyone has their
Can't wait to coach.
You know, like.
Yep.
Yeah, I know. I'm so excited to have you on board for sure. So, well, anything else? Any parting words? Any last one-liners?
I thought I would, but I don't. Yeah. Listen, ladies, I'll be there every Tuesday, Thursday mornings. I'm pretty sure.
Yes,
I don't know.
Exactly. Pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You'll to anybody who signed up
for sure.
Fierce AF, hold on tight. It's a beautiful, fun ride.
Yes, thank you so much. I love you times 10. So
I love you times 1,000. Well, and I'll see you in the morning.
Oh, you're amazing. I will see you in the morning too. That concludes episode number 2 of Goddess TV, GTV. So hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Hopefully Michelle had some great tips for you that will help you or maybe just inspire you to start your journey, whether it's with us or not with us. I don't care. I just want you to get your ass moving and get healthy. So if you have any questions, feel free to hit me up. Let me know. Fierce AF starts September 9th. Of course, we would love to have you. We're about half full already. So 10 spots are gone. I think we got about 10 left. We're only taking 20 and we would love to have you. So feel free to hit me up and let me know. And other than that, have a beautiful day and we'll see you with the next goddess. Actually, this evening.
Tomorrow.
I'm stoked. All right, Michelle, thank you so much. We love you.
Bye. Love you too.
Yes. Okay. Bye.